Okay. The title of my course is Algebra 2, and how I've got this set up is that this is not a completely online class. I would never teach high school Algebra 2 as an online class. I believe that having them in class and just that one-on-one that can be provided within a 45-minute class period, or just the opportunity to ask questions, I think is important when it comes to this level of math with high school students. But this is designed mainly for kids who are going to miss class. And that happens at our school. Sometimes we have the golf team gone 3 times a week, or tennis is gone, or kids are in an honor band, or whatever. So this is an opportunity for them to be able to view the notes that we would be doing in class, going through the examples that we'd be doing in class, being able to get on Canvas and get the assignment so that they could do it out of the book. Our book is not online, which is kind of unfortunate, but they would be able to get the book assignment and work through it. The other thing is that I like to see the kids' work. I like to see their process that they're using. Usually I can pick up on if they've missed a problem, where they went wrong. And so when I pick up work, that is what I tend to look through. Is I skim through it, I look at their work to find out if it's a common mistake happening, or if that student keeps making that mistake over and over and over again. So how this is set up is that kids can get online, they can even work ahead if they would like to, and then use that time in class, to fill in blanks, as you might say. But I'd like to go and, first of all, take a look at the student view of this class. How I have it set up is that there's really only 3 buttons over here that they need to worry about. Here is the home page. They can get on and look at their grades. So they can go through and look in their grades. And then also I set up the discussion so that with our class here, that they would be able to have a feedback. I think discussion would be great too, to set up so that if they have questions, they can pop over, pop a question on there. I like Zoom, that they could even Zoom record a question if they had a question and then put it in there. FaceTime works pretty good too, it seems. So they can work with each other. On the home page, how I've got this set up is, first of all, an introduction. And the introduction just basically goes through and, states what, this is a course that is an extension of Algebra 1. It does have trig and pre-calculus concepts in there, and then the title of the book that we'll be using. How this is set up is that each chapter is divided into sections, and then each section starts with a folder that is titled Notes. In this notes, there'll be a skeleton of the practice problems or notes that we would be doing in class, and they can download and copy that off. And then under the notes, there are pen casts. And the pen casts are the step-by-step instruction going through. I have done this with other chapters. I've just not done this with the very first chapters of the book. Several years ago, I had a student, because of a medical condition, would miss class often, and we needed to find a way to get her notes. Videotaping was kind of cumbersome, because we'd videotape and then we'd have to put it into like an MP4 or some format to get it to her, or put it up onto YouTube or whatever, and it was pretty cumbersome. So we had used a smart pen and came up with pen casts, and then I kept those pen casts very brief, and then if she had some questions, then she could set up a time to FaceTime me or call me, which rarely happened. these pen casts, these 10-minute pen casts, really, really worked well. So I ended up doing them with the end of the book chapters that we worked on, and never the early chapters. And so this was an opportunity for me to do the chapter 1 and get those caught up. So I'll show you how that pen cast works. And then after the pen cast, the homework is assigned. These are done paper pencil, must be handed in to the in basket on my desk before or on the individual due dates. That's if they're going to be gone. If they're going to be in class, we will go through these in class. I'll answer questions, and then most homework assignments is just a 10-point participation grade. So I'm okay with kids working ahead, especially if they know they're going to be gone. I don't accept late assignments. So these are mostly sophomore, juniors, and seniors, and I believe that making them accountable and being responsible for due dates is important. I don't quizzes and tests are done paper pencil in class, but up here on the Canvas I have put some practice quizzes up there so they can go through and do some practice. There's also a test review along with a scanned answer key to that they can go and work through. Those are multiple choice, and so they can check to see if their answers are right or wrong, and they can get back to me on that if they've got questions. So how this is set up is that each section is like, here's 1-1 notes, and then the assignment underneath, 1-2 notes, the assignment underneath. If they want to do a review over the order of operations, here's a little practice quiz they can do. Assignment 3, and then section 3, looks like I need to flip those. And then section 1-4, here's another practice quiz that they can go through. Here is a review, section 1-1 to 1-4, and as I said, we can go through these. Here's another practice quiz, and then here's a chapter review with all the answer keys of those. It's a 3-page review and the answer keys to those. Test 1, there's not a test there, it's just there so that I could put it into the grades. So how this is set up is, so example, if I opened up section 1-3, okay, here has the assignment that is written, and it does go through, it's submitting on paper, it tells exactly what, work through these problems on paper, showing all organized work, be ready to turn in all problems on the due date. Here is the note sheet, and on the note sheet, let me just give you what a note sheet would look like. Here, let's open it. Okay, this is a very typical note sheet. In here, in this section, we went through all the different properties, and so this would be a very typical note sheet, and then some example problems that is to work through. On the pen casts, if we go through and let's click on the pen casts here. Okay. Open up. Okay. Okay. If they are in green, which is what we're looking for, those pen casts then are active. And so let's pick a one that has a little bit more. Let's go down to the later ones. These are probably okay. So this has 2 parts. I do this in 2 days. Okay. So first of all, if I open this up, here is a note sheet for 1-7A. Let's then open up the pen cast that goes with it. Like I said, we like to see it in bright green because it means that they're active. So these are the problems that are up here in the notes. If they want to work ahead on those and then check their answer, open up the pen cast to see if their answer is correct, that's fine. If they want to interactively work through it, the first thing they need to do is to download it. And then up here where it says the LiveScribe, it's not letting me open that LiveScribe. Why won't it let me open that? Okay, well, if it's not going to let me open it from here, we will open it from a different. Usually you can just click on that. And then what you do is with your downloads, since I've downloaded this multiple times, just take it and drop it in there. And then this is how this works, is that, like I said, it's interactive.
3x minus 6 is equal to 5. Adding 6 to both sides. These would cancel, which would give me 3x is equal to 11. Divide by 3. X would be equal to 11/3. You can always take that and plug it back into your original equation and multiply.
If I want to go down to example 3.
On number 3, we just take it one step further. And first of all,
and if you want to go back to
so
problem
take
2,
care
you
of
could just jump back to number 2.
Example number 2, if you have parentheses, do make sure to go through and do distributive
Or if I
property
want to
first.
see this step, I can jump
Or
down to this
x
step.
minus 3 is equal to 5. And then finishing out by adding 3 to each side and then dividing by 4.
Or if I could jump down to problem number 2.
We have 6x minus 2 times x.
So, and then it's, because this is a 2-page note, I could jump down to problem number 7.
We have a lot going on problem number 7. 3 times quantity x plus 1 plus.
Or jump to problem 8.
8.
Okay. So that is one thing that is really nice about using the Pencast, is that they can go through and see step by step how to do each of the problems. Many kids don't actually go to the Pencast that I have found in the later chapters that I have. Sometimes they just look at the step by step and then will often go, oh, this is where my mistake happened. But it's there if they want explanation to go with it. The practice quizzes are all set up as, oh, I need to take that one out, because actually it's the quiz 1-3. Here it is, the quiz 1-3. That is the practice. I had to redesign it. And here, if they can go through and check to see which property it is, and practice that symmetric, you know, whatever. So, and then once it's done, they can submit and see how they did. So, okay. Got a few things to tweak here before I'm through. Oh, one other thing to note. On all of the notes, I have included, oh, I just picked the wrong one. Section 1.8 actually had no Khan Academy tutorials to put on there. Maybe 1.9 didn't either. Let's go to 1.4. The sections that had Khan Academy tutorials that I could find to go with them, The Khan Academy tutorials right here, they could go to those. I created links so that it would take them to the tutorial for that section. So this was just a review over adding negative numbers. Okay. So not every section had a Khan Academy tutorial, but several of them did. The last few chapters or sections did not. So that is pretty much my first module as far as Algebra 2. If I were going to do an entire year, I would create a module for each of the chapters so that kids could go in, look at notes. If they're going to be gone for section 1.4, they could go into section 1.4 and find out what assignment it is and the directions that would go with that. In later chapters, where it'd be graphing, I would include just a graph paper that they could download and copy off and work off of as well. So that is my project, and I hope you've enjoyed it.